tutorial for the building your Flash website. Now I want you to go back to the main screen right here, or the main timeline, and right here and click on the main movie clip. You want to add a layer called script, and we have menu. There's two things we're going to do now. We're actually going to create the buttons that will take us to the other movie scripts, to the other movie clips, and that it'll set up our navigation. The other thing we want to do is we're going to program our scripting for those buttons. So on menu, what I want you to do is we're going to actually go in and create some text. So go over here to the text button, and I'm going to click right up in here. I want this to be static text, so down in here you want to make sure you select static text, because dynamic text is probably going to come up. We're going to use Verdana, and we're going to use a size 10. The location for this text we'll create the text first, then we'll change the location. So I just want you to type home. Oops, let's go ahead and type home. And make sure that you're selected your text and change the color. In this case, you can make it white, you can make it black, you can make it something that stands out. You can make it red for all I care, but as long as the text stands out. We want to change that color to black. Or no, I'm sorry, let's go ahead and change it to white, because it'll stay right up here in line with this text here. Okay. I'm going to select the select key. It's selected. We see it with the blue bounding box around it, and I'm going to put its location in here as 34.2. The height is 16.1. The location is going to be 472 in the X, and in the Y we want 60. Okay, so that's our location. The next thing I want to do is we're going to turn it into a button. So I'm going to hit my F6. No, shoot. Convert the symbol, F8, my bad. And call this home. Okay. Home button. So we're just going to call it home _ BTN. Oops, I don't need that plus sign in there. Hit OK. And in this case, it's going to tell me it's already taken, that I've already done it. So I'm just going to call it home button. Let's call it A. Hit OK. Down here in the instance name, I want you to type in home _ BTN, because we're going to use that instance to program it. Okay, so I want you to do that. Next, I want you to double click on home. And now we're in the button properties, so we can actually start to see, we're going to actually build a button that we're going to use in our movie, or in our website, I should say. I want you to insert a keyframe here, and we're going to insert another layer. Okay. I want you to go ahead and in the hit state of layer 2, and I want you to put it under layer 1. In layer 2, I want you to go in and insert a blank keyframe there. So what we have now is our home button. In the over state, we see it right here, up and over, we see it, but if we hit the down or the hit, we don't see that at all. Okay. And I want you to go in and put a little box around it or something, so that in the hit state, people can see what's going on, what's happening. So I'm going to just grab a little box here. I don't want it white because my text is already white, so let's make it yellow. So I'm just going to put a little box around it. Let's see what it looks like in the hit state. So I need to move that. Okay, I need to move it. So let's get it off in the corner, and let's look where it is. Close. The other thing I can do is, if I want, I can, you got it, I can give the dimensions. I can tell it that I want it to be at 34.2. The height is fine. The X is 472. And the Y, you bet, 60. So let's see where that puts us. Guess what? Where is it? 472 XY. Oops, we don't want to do that. So what happened? It looks like we lost it. We lost it. Okay, so let's undo. Okay, so that looks like it's where we want it to be actually. So let's go ahead and we'll leave it there. Let's see if it's over in our hit state. Okay, that looks good. So now when I go to my main, and if I test my movie, oh shoot, I forgot I haven't programmed it. So I'm going to run into some problems. I want to cancel that if I can. Okay, so here's my button. Let's see if we can test simple buttons. Enable simple buttons. Here's my button, but I have nothing in my rollover. We have a oh, it's in my hit state, that's why. But in my hit state, I don't have anything. So now we got to go back and see what's going on. So I want to deselect my enable simple buttons, double click this, and find out why is that having a problem. Ah, I know why. Okay, I'm going to go in and put in insert a frame there. Okay. So what I have now is I have my button home working. Now if I wanted to, I could actually move this so that it works right there. If I really want to do that, let's see if we can get it to work again. Again, it's not working. There we go. So in the hit state, there we go. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to we're going to make 2 more buttons in the same similar setup. One's going to be portfolio. Oh, but I don't want it in yellow, do I? Let's change that to white. And I want a second one here. Right here. And I want this to be downloads. Okay, so now I have 2. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line these up. The easiest way to do this is I'm going to grab this, this, and this. Oh, I got to take this off the control. And grab this, and now I'm going to align them. Okay. And so they all lined up vertically on the center, and that's good. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to play with this button. I'm going to change it, F8. We're going to call this portfolio. Portfolio, gosh darn it, portfolio BTN. I want you to name it BTN. I've already made the button, so I have to name it BTNA, but portfolio button is good for you. And then the instance name, portfolio underscore BTN, because we're going to use that in the programming. We're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to make it a button, and we're going to call this downloads underscore BTN. Mine's already taken, so go ahead and just name yours BTN, and I will name mine BTNA. Then here I'm going to name this downloads underscore BTN, because again we're going to use this when we program it. Okay, double click on portfolio, do the exact same thing. In the over state, I want you to insert a keyframe. I want you to add a layer, put layer 2 on the bottom, and in the down state I want you to insert a blank keyframe, because we're going to work with that. Go to your box. We're going to make this yellow. I'm going to come in here, and we kind of know it's already right there, so we're just going to make it a little bit like that. I'm not going to worry too much about it. We're going to look. Yep, it's right in there. Okay, I'm going to go back to the main, and I'm going to do the same thing. You're going to do the exact same thing with the downloads. Double click on it. You're going to insert keyframe. I'm going to make another layer, move layer 2 down, and I'm in the down position. I'm going to insert a blank keyframe, and here I'm going to put that little square over there again. This is going to be a kind of a long one, so look at it. Yeah, we can make it smaller if we want, but for right now this is going to work just fine. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to go to the movie clip on the sections layer and the instance name sections. This is our instance names, and these are our sections. Okay, we've made this movie clip, named it sections. I want you to name this. Select the home button, because remember, this home button has home, portfolio, and downloads. This is where these buttons, these three buttons right here, are going to be working with these three names. Okay, these, remember, are our areas that we're working with. Okay, because inside, remember, inside this home layer is our home text, is what's going on at the home. Okay, and if we go back to sections, this is the portfolio layer, and this has what? This has all our portfolio stuff in it, remember? Okay, and we go back to sections, and the same thing with downloads. Okay, so you're going to see that when we go to program this, we need all of these playing in the same ballpark. So click this button here, home, and call it sections. Okay, so down here I want you to give it an instance, or the variable name sections. Make sure you spell it sections. Okay, and then we're going to go up into the script layer. Okay, we're going to go up here in script, click on the keyframe, because that's where we're going to put the actions, on this keyframe itself. So, and we're going to make sure our script assist is off, and we're going to type this one in this time, because it's going to be a little easier for us, because as we start to build this, you'll see. So we're going to say sections, and remember, that's the instance of sections, dot, go to capital and stop. We know we're right because it comes up in blue, and we're going to say home. Okay, remember, home is in the where? It's in the, this is the home button. Okay, but remember that it's also, if we double click in this, in the sections area, we've got home, portfolio, and downloads. Okay, we're going to end that line of text, and we're going to say home underscore btn, the button, dot, on release, and here we go, on release, equals, and then we're going to say function, and we're going to tell it what the function is. Function, close parentheses, and now we're going to open our programming block, our bracket. We've got our first programming bracket, and we're going to say sections dot go to and stop at home. So on the home button, remember, we're going to go to the home. Remember that empty keyframe that had the flag on it that said home? Well, we're telling it we want it to go there. So when you press that home button, this one here, and remember we gave it the instance home button, that's what we called that. When you click on that, it takes you home to the home section. And then we're going to say sections dot home dot go to and play. So we want it to play. Remember, there's a movie clip in there. We want it to go to and play frame 2. Okay, now we're going to close our bracket, our programming bracket, end the program line, and start the next one. Now all I have to do is come in here and copy and paste this. So I'm going to copy it, Control C, click here, hit Control V, and then I'm going to change this, and I'm going to say, I don't want to say home now. What do I want it to say? Portfolio. So the portfolio release, we want it to go to, exactly, we want it to go to portfolio, and then we want to change home here to portfolio. Okay, now we already know that's correct. We're going to hit Control V, paste the next section. We know it's not going to be home, but this is going to be downloads. Okay, and then here it's going to be downloads again. And then here it's going to change from home to downloads. Once we know that we have all our programming right the first time, if we have programming that's going to need to be copy and pasted over and over and over again, this is easy for us to do. All we have to do is go in, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And then that's it. We're pretty much done. That's the programming that we have for the main movie clip. And remember, this is our main movie clip, and this main movie clip is sitting right down in here. Okay, so you Control S, save everything. God willing, everything will work. So let's go File. Now on our Publish Preview, you publish the HTML and it nests it into an HTML document. But I want you to send me the Flash file. So we're going to say Publish Flash. Here's our first website. Well, what do you know? There it is. And there's the whole website right there. So if I hit Portfolio, I gotta look and see what happened. I made a boo-boo on my portfolio. So I need to go back and look and see what's going on. My home works, my downloads work, but my portfolio isn't. So this is where you want to troubleshoot. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at my portfolio button. Notice what happened here. Let me double click on this. Wait, I got a portfolio. Look what happened. I spelled portfolio wrong. So important. Remember what I talked about, how important spelling is? Because it always comes back and gets us somewhere. So I'm going to hit Control S, save it again. Now I'm going to go back, publish my preview in Flash, and if I'm lucky, and I think I will be, here's a website, here's portfolio, there we go. We have our little pictures of Big Sur. I click on them, and if this was uploaded, it should work. Notice this is all supposed to be working. Portfolio, home, there we go. So that's going to be your first website. Remember that as we start to build on this, the programming portion is so important. Pay attention to how we program this, and you should be fine. The other place that you can play with the settings here is when you go to Publish Settings, you can have the HTML version be Flash only. We can have it be an image map. We can make QuickTime. We can have it load percentages, width and height percentages. We can have it load match the movie. So that means it would match this staging area. In the Flash section, we can set it up so that it's bottom up, compressed movie. We can change all of these things here. The settings for the action scripting, you can go in and change all that if you wanted to. We can make it password protected. And then access local files only, or access, in this case, if I said access network only, it would access my network. This right now says it's only accessing my local files. And then any audio or video I have, it's only going to come out mono, but I can change that. Okay, so it can be whatever I want it to be, and I can change my bit rate so that I can have my quality much better. Okay. If I wanted best, then it's going to give me a different quality. But in this case, it's giving it to me as fast. We can change all of those things, so play around with that. Depending on what it is, obviously if this is going to be a website for a band, we want to make sure that we've got the best possible audio going out. We want to make sure that it all looks good, sounds good, and is good. Here right now is the only two things that it's going to export, Flash and HTML. I can change that. I can have a Windows projector, an executable file. I can have a Macintosh projector, or I can have a QuickTime movie. QuickTime movie, remember, both Macs and PCs can play those. Okay, so that kind of kills two birds with one stone. Okay, if you have any questions, give me a call or email me. This is due at the end of the week, so have a good one. And if you have any problems, go back and look at your programming, because that's normally where we're going to end up with problems. See you later.